All right, let's talk about the very few books I read in the month of August. This will be quick, so don't grab a cup. You're fine. Hey readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my August reading wrap up. This one, as I said, is very, very quick. I think you probably know by now because I've mentioned it more than once. I had a little bit of a reading slump, and so I only finished 3 books in the month of August. I did attempt to finish a couple others, but didn't happen. So let's start with the first one, which I don't own, and that is Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is I guess I've read everything that Emily Henry has published, at least in this genre, and I have liked some of them pretty well. I did not like the last one, so I was not sure about this one, but I decided to give it a go anyway, and I borrowed it from my library and I read it on ebook. Funny Story is about a woman named Daphne who is engaged to marry Peter, and she is working in a library and feeling pretty confident about her life and about her relationship. And Peter breaks up with her at the last minute and tells her that he has discovered that he's in love with his best friend of a long, long time and has never had those feelings for her before, but all of a sudden now he does. And so he leaves and she has to find a new place to live. Meanwhile, Miles, whose wife or whose girlfriend Petra has been with him forever, and they have been, happily living together. She tells Miles that she is about to marry her best friend Peter because she didn't realize how much she loved him until now. And so Miles is without a roommate and he's paying the rent on his place. So Daphne ends up moving in with Miles as a way of conveniently finding a place to live, as now she is completely adrift and homeless. That premise is fairly predictable, and it's a trope you've probably heard multiple times before. But what I loved about this book is that this one felt a little deeper. This one felt like these characters had a little bit more depth and teeth to them. Maybe it's just because I'm reading a lot of romances lately and I'm kind of getting in the groove and I'm discovering I like them more than I realized I would. But maybe it's just because this one was slightly better. It's definitely more likable characters than the one I finished not long ago. And that one was just really, really hard for me. I don't even remember the name of it. That's how hard it was for me. But this one was fantastic. I loved the other characters at the library and in the little community where they worked. I loved where he worked. I loved where she worked. I loved the backstory. I loved the everything. I just really, really liked it. I would say this was a solid 4-star read for me. And I would recommend this one to others for sure. So if you haven't read an Emily Henry, book lovers, I really liked too. I mean, I liked them all except for that last one. I just couldn't get it. I just didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe it was me. But this one, solid, like for sure. Then I participated in Catch Up-a-thon at Krista from Books and Jams suggestion. And this is my second year participating in Catch Up-a-thon, but I only read one book, which is, there's no like book police in this situation, but I really thought I was going to read like a crazy person in the month of August, and that was not the case. And there was a great reason why that didn't happen. So I'm not upset about it at all. Not mad. But The Colonies of County Down was a bit of a backlist, and I had thought about reading it recently anyway because I wanted to get it done. I have read another book by this author. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed this one very, very much too. I gave it 4 stars. This one is about a woman named Tara who has been imprisoned for a drug charge, and she's released to her family and on parole, of course, or on probation. And she goes to live with her brother and sister again because she has nowhere else to go and no job, obviously, coming out of prison. Her brother, whose name I think is Eddie, has a little boy named Connor, and they live in this home. But Eddie's had a traumatic brain injury, so he struggles a lot with being able to kind of cope with work and life and keep track of things. And then Geraldine, their older sister, or is she the older sister? She might just be the bossiest of the sisters. She lives there too, and she's very, very controlling. She wants everything done her way. She wants everybody to do it her way. She's very, very judgmental. She's very hard to live with. But Geraldine has a secret, and Eddie has some stuff going on in his life, and Tara has the desire to be able to work in this community, and also has a story that nobody really realizes happened. So I found this to be very, very well done. I liked the way the family was developed. I'm really into family dramas at the moment, so that was a perfect choice for me, actually. This was the prompt in the catch-up-a-thon to who you were going to invite to your barbecue, because that's the theme this time, and I invited my family, or the Connollys in this case. So this was a book about family, but that was the only one I really got to finish. I don't even know if this other one fits a prompt for catch-up-a-thon that I read, but I'm good. I'm glad that I did. Like I said, I'm not upset about it. It just was a different month than I thought it would be reading wise. I also wanted to participate in the deck of TBR readathon from Becca at Books and Jams. And while I picked this book for that, I really didn't participate in that much at all either. I just couldn't. It just wasn't my priority. But I did finish A Fatal Grace by Louise Penny. It took me an agonizingly long amount of time to do it, to be able to focus on it. But this was book 3 in the series. Is that right? Yeah. So this is book 2 in the series, Louise Penny's Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series. And this one was about Cece Poirez, something, forget her name. Everybody hates her. Everybody in Three Pines hates her. And she's electrocuted. And they have a number of clues that they have to uncover to be able to figure out how this happened and who did it. I enjoyed it. There's nothing wrong with this book. Again, it wasn't the book. It was just my inability to focus, but I did complete it, and I'm glad that I did. And I read a combination of physical, audio, and Kindle to see if I could figure out which one might have the sweet spot for me, but turns out I was just in a slump no matter what physical copy or electronic copy I picked up. I just couldn't do it. So those are the 3 books I read in the month of August. I did start a couple others, and I'm hoping to finish those in September, but we shall see. We shall see. I feel a little bit better, a little bit more focused now. I think it's coming to an end, this slump, but it was the worst reading slump I've ever had. But again, not in a frustrating way. I was just like, I can't focus on this. I got other things to do. So it was a good experience for sure, to be able to set those books down and to be with my family and the people that I love the most. So thanks for watching today. Thanks for your support, your comments, your perseverance while I was away. Let me know what you read in the month of August. And if you've read any of these, let me know that too. And as always, happy reading. Bye.